Hi, and welcome back, paper crafting friends. Today I have the Christmas edition of Dash out. It's up in my Etsy shop, and I'm just going to give you a quick look at it, explain a little bit about what Dash is, and then we'll do a process video. So Dash is a 7 by 10 scrapbook paper crafting notebook with predetermined spaces for all of your stash, photos, stories, stamping, all kinds of good things. There are 16 different designs. It has 25 pages, enough to do 50 layouts, and it's a lot of fun. It's a project that I enjoy working in probably every day or every other day. I try to crank out one page. I'm I'm finding it it's really sparking my creativity. So Dash comes in this words in English, in Spanish, and then in the trees. I'm going to be doing the trees this year. I love this pattern, and they're all exactly the same on the inside. So I'm just going to move these over here and show you one of my favorite things about it is this December calendar. Now you can use it as a traditional calendar if you're doing December daily and you want to mark off your days. Perfect. But I'm not going to use it that way. I'm going to tell December stories or just favorite things that I love about December and Christmas from the past. And then I'm going to decorate it. That's what the process video is going to be about. Let me show you. This is my October daily. So for October daily, I did this uh, design with little stories about Halloweens from the past, my favorite things about Halloween. And then I just decorated it with some of my favorite things. I'm going to follow this exact same design. I loved it, and I loved using a lot of my stash. Why reinvent the designs over and over again when I can just take this, plug it into here, and just have a lot of fun with it? Now, I never filmed this one, so I am going to film the process, like I said, of the December one because I got so many questions about exactly how I did this. There is also a Dash class that you might be interested in that goes over a lot of the different design elements, what I use to print, my printer, all those different types of things. And it has a lot of different design ideas if you're interested in that. All right, so let me get started with this opening page. I'm just going to move some things out of the way and I'll show you off camera what I've chosen. I have these trays that are filled with a lot of my tiny things. I have like 4 of these trays and they're off to the side. I have a couple of stamp sets and I have my journaling blocks. So my journaling blocks are these tiny little things. They're not exactly blocks, right? They look like little cubes, but they're on clear label paper. I printed them out and I have already cut them down. So I'm just going to place them, try to do every other kind of, and I'm going to follow what I've done in the past, more or less. And I can always move these around, right? So in the Halloween one, I had left this space open. I think I'm going to repeat that. So I'm going to go ahead and stick these down. And then I will find things in my stash to plug and play into all of these little squares. I have a lot of Christmas embellishments. All right, now I have all my little stories down. My little stories are about best gifts, a funny story about my dad, my memories of Nico running down the stairs on Christmas morning, going into New York City to see the big tree, singing Baranda as a kid, some of my childhood memories, some of Nico's memories, just a lot of different little snippets of when I think of Christmas, this is what I think of. So that's the framework. This is where I start. Next, I pick a color scheme. So the color scheme comes from washi tape. This year, I'm going to use this one by Ali Edwards. This was in my, I think I got the main kit of her Christmas, her December daily kit. I love these colors. So this is going to give me a starting off point. Um, then I can go into my stash and look for different little things in these colors, and I don't have to really think about color palette because here it is. Beautiful gold, red, green, and a little pop of blue. I love that. We're not going to do, I'm going to attempt. All right, just a nice torn edge. In the October daily one that I'm following, let me just pull it back. So you'll see the similarities, you'll see the stories, you see that I based it. I chose this washi first, and then I went into my stash and found things in this colorway and sort of with that sort of cartoony feel. This stamp right here is what balances out the big title. So I'm going to repeat that same exact thing here, and I'm going to use something very similar. And it's this really long stamp that says, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas" by Carrie Bradford. And I love her stamps. And we're just gonna go, yeah, that looks right about right. Okay, there we go. Now we've achieved our balance. Second part, the next thing I do is create two clusters. Again, one up at the upper left hand and one at the lower right hand corner. So some of my favorite things in my stash. So I've had this puffy sticker forever. This was from Paperperson shop. I think maybe from last year. I'm going to put her down lightly right here. This reminds me of myself struggling with gifts. That's probably why I like it so much. The other thing that I love is this candy cane. These are from Tim Holtz. I've had them for some time. And I like the weight of this embellishment and the puffy sticker next to each other. I like how it takes up 3 spots right there. And again, now I need to balance that out. So I have this other little embellishment here. Let me just grab it. And it's this Santa Claus envelope. I love this. And I realized that it fits almost perfectly in here. I think this is Pink Fresh, maybe. I will try to source some of the things, but I am using things from my stash. So I'm using some mix of new things, like this is new from the Ali Edwards kit, but also things that I've had for years and years. And that's what I like to use in my notebook. Okay, to go along with this cluster here and weigh it down, I'm looking for something that is blue and that fits in the shape and also goes with the Santa Claus. So in my stash, I had this little blue mailbox, and let's see if it works. It does. Perfect. Love that. And then here, I'm going to vary the shape. I'd like to find a circle. And I have a lot of circles. Let's see. I think this red one is going to work. I love how forgiving puffy stickers are. They do come up off the paper. The paper is ultra smooth, and so it gives you a little bit of wiggle room depending on the adhesive that's on your embellishment, right? All right, so I have 2 things going here. I need something to sort of fill up this space here. I'm going to put you on fast forward and you can watch me build step by step. Okay, I'm not sure what I did, but I lost a little bit of footage, and the only thing that you missed, or I missed, is the placement of 3 different rub-ons. So this postage stamp, the mug, and the books are all rub-ons by Paperperson Shop. That was from last year's collection. So now I've distributed a little bit of color, mostly reds and pinks. I'm going to move on to the next cluster, which is this spot right here. So I need to balance this out a little bit. I've gone through a lot of my embellishments and I've kind of narrowed down what I want to use, and we'll see if it works. And I'll adjust as I go. I love the snowman, and then I saw this little car in my stash. I thought it'd be so cute to have it coming off of the tree and what I think is supposed to be Rockefeller Center or any city, any big city, right? Okay, I love that. That's part of our story since we do go into New York City every year. All right, let's take a look at colors. And I want to distribute something darker down here. I've got a lot of pinks and reds. I like this little house die cut. I think I'm just going to put it down here. Darker colors are heavier, and so I tend to put them towards the bottom. We need to add a little bit more green. I have trees. I have a ton of these little wooden trees. Maybe I generally tend to build right off of the words and then work out from there. So on this side, I think something small because we have so much going on right here. So I have these tiny little stockings. I think I'm going to put these down. Yeah, I think that's going to work. I just wanted to make sure they weren't too small, but they're not. So this project is perfect for all these little puffy stickers that sometimes they get lost on a page. If you're trying to make like a 6x8 page or a traveler's notebook page, I like them because they're cute and detailed, but I have a hard time using them sometimes when they're too small. But I'm glad that I have all of these now because they are perfect for these squares. Yep, that looks kind of like our family, small, medium, and large. And then where else am I going to go? I think I'm going to do a pop of red here. I have a Starbucks mug. That's definitely part of my story, probably a lot of folks' stories. I think I need to balance this out. So we have dark, something very dark here. I'm going to balance it out with something very dark here. So I have a circle, chipboard. Do I like that? I do like that. Okay. Now I'm going to move in this spot. So this, either I'm going to find something tiny to put here and then an element all on its own, or I'm going to find something that's nice and long. So I have two long things that I love. And it's either this Target bag or these stockings. And I think they both fit. Yep, they both do fit. I'm going to go with the Target bag because I go there so often in December that needs to be part of the story. Next to it, I think I'm going to pair this up with this little tape, wrapping paper. I think here I'm going to maybe something green. Okay, let's just put that as a placeholder there. I love this paper snowflake. I had thought about, let me see if this will work. So I needed something to tie these things together and sort of anchor this cluster. And I think it's going to be this very simple. Yeah, that works. Actually, I'm going to move it over a little bit without tearing it, right? All right. And I think it's key also to have dimensional items, but also have a mix of flat items. So rub-ons, stickers, die cuts. I wouldn't make it all dimensional. You could make it all flat. I think that would be okay. That could work. I will get this die cut down eventually. Okay. This is where we lose all our times, right? Fiddling, little to the left, a little to the right. All right, I'll take a last look at this once I finish it. I usually leave these projects on my desk overnight. In the morning, sometimes I find myself peeling things off and adding things. I think I'm going to add this star here. And what else? What else can I add? I have this little spot here. I can add another Starbucks. You can't have too many Starbucks cups, can you? And I think I could leave that, or I could do, I have this on my desk too. So this is a piece of a die cut. I just like this pop of green that matches this green, and then adding a snowflake. So that's just a little bit of repetition. Snowflake, snowflake, green, green. And this is all looking very balanced. I think I'm finished here. So the only thing that I think I'm going to go back and do, not go back and do, I have to go back and glue these down once I'm 100% sure. I'm going to add some snowflakes. So these are really tiny little, I think they're made out of rubber because they're very flexible. I have no idea where I got these from. I've had them for a long time. But I'm going to spread them out, maybe one on the cup and the other cup and one more maybe, or am I going too far? We'll add one more. Okay, that's it. We're good. All right. Okay, next I'm going to add a script word. Let's add this word from Heidi Swap right up here. And I'm going to add my own 3 little ellipses there. Okay, and I think that's it. I think my calendar is done. I will go back and glue this and the little snowflakes down. I'll give you a nice close-up look so you can see all that nice texture and color and story and so many fun things. I love this project. You can see, let me put the October Daily right next to it so you can see the inspiration. And we didn't reinvent the whole design, right? We just kind of went with the same cluster, sameness, right? And I think, yes, I did follow the 1, 2, 3, the one down here. I followed it almost exactly, not 100%, right? Because my embellishments were a little differently shaped, but more or less, even right down to the stamp by Carrie Bradford that she made for Christmas. I love this stamp set. All right, and then one last look at the covers. Here is our English and Spanish. And oh, one other thing, on the other side of this calendar is a page that is much lighter in gray than the rest of the pages. So that was purposefully done. This was requested by a lot of the October Daily folks because a lot of folks are taping in their December details or December stories or daily or whatever you want to call it, their list of the stories that they're going to tell in this book on this side, and the gray was showing through. So that's why that's that way. If you're not going to add a list like this, then no worries, because these are just spots for your photos, and this is going to be covered up anyway, so it doesn't have to match this gray perfectly. All right, so that's it. That's my December daily project for this year. I will have a lot of different examples I will walk you through starting on December 1st. I can't wait to tell some stories. I might try to do December daily in the traditional way. I might not. I'm thinking about it, honestly. But I'm going to link down below some examples of my October daily so you can see some of the stories that I told in that one. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.